Hello friends, welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making pork chops with mushroom gravy. So we're going to start off with our skillet, which we're going to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil to. And then we're going to add in 2 pork chops. Now we're going to cook this on medium to high heat. We want to get these things cooked really well and through. And the thing is with this, if you want to make sure you're getting your temperature right by the time they're done, you want to go to at least 145 to 150 degrees internally. And you can check this with a thermometer. On top of my pork chops, I'm putting some salt and pepper, which I'm using a half a teaspoon of each. I saved part of it, so when I flip it, I can put some more on the back side when it's cooking. And as you can see in my pan, mine are pretty much done. So when they're done, I'm going to remove these to the side to go to the next step to actually start making gravy. So in my skillet, I have left the remains from the pork chops in there because I actually want to use this in the gravy. And I'm adding 1/4 of a cup of butter, which I'm going to move this around until it's melted. So if you have it in one block like I do, just keep moving it around, because as you can see, it's taking the drippings from the pan and mixing in with the butter. And this is kind of what we want to do. It's going to give it a little bit of flavor. And as that is melting, we are going to add in 1 thinly sliced onion, which basically it's about a medium-sized onion. And you're going to make the rings separate before you drop them into the pan, so that way they'll cook more evenly. So go ahead and add all your onion in. And then we're going to add some garlic, which is basically the equivalent here of 3 cloves of minced garlic. And then we're going to mix this all together. And as we're melting the butter, we're also sauteing the onions and the mushrooms till we get them to a point where basically the onions are becoming translucent, and you can really smell this. And we just want to get them to the point where they're very well cooked before we do anything else. And then to this, we are going to add about maybe 1/4 of a cup of flour. You're going to add this in as you go to thicken up what you got in there. You may not need that much depending on how many onions you had. Like if your onion was slightly larger than mine, you might need a little bit more. And then to this, we are going to add 2 cups of beef broth, and we're going to mix this together. Now as we're doing this, we're going to stir this up a little bit, and you're going to start to see that it's forming a bit of the gravy. It will be thin at first. As this cooks, it's going to thicken up some. And once we get this all mixed in there a bit, then we're going to add in our mushrooms, which we are using a cup of sliced mushrooms, which means you can cut these pretty thin if you want to. And we're going to mix that completely in. And then to that, we're going to add about a tablespoon of parsley. Now you can eyeball it as I did as far as putting the parsley in. And once you get in there, you're going to want to stir it up a bit. Now we are going to get this all mixed together, and then once it's all in, we're going to saute this for about 7 minutes before we do anything else, because we want to actually make sure all these flavors mix together and this actually cooks up a bit. And once you get it to a certain point, you'll notice that your gravy is thickening. Once you got to about the 7-minute marker, you can go ahead and add your pork chops back into your mix again in your skillet. And as you can see, the gravy is really taking shape at this point. Now once you get your pork chops in, we're going to want to cook this for about 12-13 minutes at least to let the pork chops take on the flavor of the gravy and everything really mingle together. And once it's done, it looks something like this. And this is an amazing meal with such a great taste, and I'm sure you'll love it as much as I do. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out my cookbooks, which are available in bookstores worldwide. The first is about everyday cooking. The second is all about baking. Have a great day.